Thank you all for joining today. I would argue that there are three types of industry news lately. The ones talking about prop firms, the ones talking about prediction markets, and the ones talking about prop firms launching prediction markets. Okay, so to address all these topics here today, we have four experts on the field. We have Galip. Welcome, Galip.
Thank you.
He's the co-founder of Funded Next and its Chief Strategy Officer. I also have with me Libby, VP of Partnerships at Play. They help operators launch liquid prediction markets under their own brands. She's a lawyer, so watch out, everyone, what you say in front of her. And then I also have with me Haya. Haya serves as a trading business analyst at Plus 500, and they recently started offering prediction markets as well. She will be quieter than usual because she lost a little bit her voice, but yeah, it's gonna be fine. And then we have Ruben as well. Ruben is a prop industry veteran, I would argue. He was part of the team at the Fibers before founding Rubik, a prop trading consultancy. Welcome, Ruben.
Thank you.
So, without further ado, let's dig deep into the topic today. Where does prop firms and prediction markets stand today in terms of trajectory, growth, maturity?
So, thank you for the question, Pere, and thank you for having me today here. I think the prop trading industry really started back in 2010 with Top Step. Many think it's originally started from the origin of FTMO, but it's not the case actually. It all started with Top Step, and then came along FTMO. And I think since 2020, since COVID, there has been a surge of new brands who have actually traditionalized this concept of, hey, you need capital, we can provide capital, but prove yourself first. And in exchange, in order to prove yourself, pay some fee. So this is, in short, what prop trading is, right? And since then, I'd argue that we've seen hundreds and hundreds of companies, but if you really dig down on who are the companies, what are the companies that are actually building to survive or building in a long-term mindset, it's actually a handful, right? And if you take a look at the broader industry, I'd say that we've had tremendous growth. We've had hundreds of thousands of customers, and it's not like you'd have to be an amazing company to acquire that many traders on your platforms. And it was the case for the starting years, I'd say from 2020, 2021, 22, 23. But since there have been incidents in the industry as well, which have put a lot of companies in the back foot, and there have been months which are simply not sustainable if you're not a disciplined company from an operational point of view, from a strategic point of view, and a lot of other cases. The reason I'm bringing up all these facts, and I intended to do it before when I was thinking, Pere is going to ask me this question, so what I should say, is because, everyone kind of is looking at the bright side of prop trading firms and how fast they've grown, how big they've grown. But it's a really thin line, right? Because the way I look at prop trading firms is that it's an amazing solution, and clearly it works. Clearly the market wants it, right? The kind of demand that every company has, even newer companies, it proves that the demand and the market is there. But at the same time, the fine line that you have to keep in mind is when you are a brokerage, or when you are quote unquote a brokerage, essentially you are the middleman facilitating between two principal parties, the trader and the market, right? I'm a trader, I want to trade, and then there is that market. And in between, there is a facilitator, let's say the brokerage. But when it's a prop trading firm, the principal parties are the traders and the company itself, because the company is the one who's creating the challenge rules, who's creating the funded rules, who's creating the payout rules. So a lot of control and a lot of accountability is on the company's side as well, right? So, long story short, it takes a lot of discipline, a lot of operational expertise, and a lot of deliberate strategic choices to make it work like it does at some of the bigger firms. Whether it's Funded Next, there's FTMO, there are big futures prop trading firms these days, and I can talk more about that as well. But in general, I think pretty much everyone that knows about prop trading firms knows that this industry has had an amazing growth, and everyone's kind of looking to expand beyond CFDs or beyond futures and go multi-asset. And the trend is definitely kind of like that, and more gamification, more different kind of offerings for different kinds of traders. But at the same time, the fine line that I want to introduce is that it does take a lot of discipline, and you cannot fully succeed or grab all of the market share or majority of the market share and become a really big prop trading firm without doing a lot of things right and being very intentional. So I think that's the future of bigger, better, and long-term prop trading firms.
How is this similar to prediction market?
So on the prediction market front, prediction markets are growing exponentially. 2024, it was 10 billion, then it quartered 4 times bigger in 2025, 60 billion, and now it's been trending to be $240 billion annual, $24 billion monthly. Big operators are coming into play. Although the industry is still young, so it's still relevant for operators to come and really take their bite. And in Play, we provide a solution both to prediction markets for brokers and also for prop firms. And I have an announcement to make that I can make in a later stage when you'll.
Okay.
Okay. So it's
I would like to add about the growth that it's not only existing users that are bringing more volume into this product. Sorry about my voice, he already introduced this. But it's not only the same users that are bringing more volume, but the user base is really expanding. And so there is growth, but regarding the maturity, it's still on the early stages because the regulation, there is a clearer path in the US with the CFTC, but in Europe it's still fragmented, so there is much work to do there. But the demand is here, the clients are interested in the product, the product works, but there is still work to do on the regulation side.
So Abdullah explained the mechanism of prop firm, which is going to a challenge and getting access to capital, which is an amazing product during the last decade. I think it's the next innovation that we are continuing to see enormous growth. It started with Top Step. There was also the Fivers, FTMO, Funded Next come after. It started with CFD. CFD was the first instrument to come into the industry. And then we see some firms shifted into the futures market, like Top Step, which actually, if we talk about market cap in prop firms, futures is probably 90%, 85, 90% of the market cap today in the prop firm. So CFD, I would say, is slowly stagnating in the prop firms. Then firms start entering the futures space, which exponentially grow. Recently, during the last year, we see crypto prop firm entering the market as well. We also see Kraken bought Breakout, which was a crypto prop firm dedicated. And I think the next step will be for prop firms to go into the prediction markets. Again, I think it's very early, but if you want to have a chance as a prop firm to establish yourself, the best way would be to go into the instruments that are not saturated. Okay, so you need to go into prediction markets to try to establish your name and then to transition back to different instruments and be a multi-asset a brand. Like companies are trying to go into this, and the next is have futures. Maybe we're going to see them in prediction markets one day. So that's actually the advice I would give for operators willing to go into prop firms.
Mm-hmm. And the standard customer or user of prediction markets and prop firms, are they the same type of users, or is it really like two different type of user personas?
So I can answer on the prediction market. The ICP is kind of broad because you have real world event. You are not trading on proxy. You're trading on the event itself. It's transparent. It's 24/7. And once you trend on this variety of event, you have a variety amount of audiences and a very cheap acquisition cost to acquire them and then to cross-sell them to your other business. Also, in addition to that, you have the Gen Z, which is the new kind of audience that is coming, that is really interested in prediction. They love the transparency of it. They love the integrity of it. And it's really interesting to see those audiences, both the professional traders and the Gen Z coming and participating in this market.
Because prediction markets is quite a broad level, because inside this you have from sports betting to event-based contracts, financial instruments, etc. Is it something that when a financial brand that is looking into entering this new market, should they curate the markets they want to offer as prediction markets, or they can go all in?
So maybe you, yeah.
Yeah, it depends. So when we enter a prediction market in the US, we started only with economical and political events. And then we just recently also launched the sports event, because the sports brings a large retail audience that can be then converted to macro events, to economic events, and other. So yeah, there are different type of users. That could be institutional users for the macro events, and that could be sports users that want to trade on sports, and that could be also a business owner that want to hedge on the elections, on anything that could put his business at risk. So he could use this as a hedging, not only business owner, but institution could use this for hedging, and retail participants also. So I have someone I know that was based in the Middle East and booked a big travel with his family, but he didn't know if he will be able to fly it. So he hedged this flight on prediction market, and if he was going to make it, so he will lose a few $100, but if not, he will get a compensation for this travel. So it can be many use cases. It's very interesting to see the different users that came in for the first use case, and then also teach them how they work, how to calculate risk, how to use this product, and then convert them to many other products.
Mm-hmm. But how big is this use case? Because everyone talks about this, no? That you can hedge real-world events and all of that, but I don't know if this is like a big share of the market or really a tiny bit of the user base compared, I don't know. No, I know that there are also like insider trading there, but how big are these, no? From the sports betting, insider trading, hedging real-world events, actual traders, what would be the split?
So it's different because Kalshi and Poly Market has different type of users. So in Kalshi, there is a lot of volume that comes from sports, with the Super Bowl and now the Mondial, and less traders that come from economic events or entertainment or other events. But in Poly Markets, it's a bit different. There are more institutions and macro events related, economic events related. So it depends on which platform and how the platform also marketing these products.
I connect to what she says, and tell me where your users come from, and I'll tell you what they will trade. So if they come from sports, they'll trade on the 90% is sport, and if they come from brokerage platforms, they might trade more on finance. But we, as a B2B platform for prediction market, I see a lot of operators, and what we do is that we tell them, here are the list of markets. You have sports, all kind of sports. You have financial assets, crypto 5 minutes, all kind of financial assets. A company, and then the operator decides in each jurisdiction, does he want to turn on sports? Does he want to turn on just financials? Some operators are saying that in US we provide a full regulatory umbrella, so they're also launching with us in US. So they say, we want sports, but just in California, because there we cannot use our sports. But in other states, I want the financial. So each operator can really pick and choose the markets that suits his users.
So the prop firms really boomed in the previous years. Now it seems like prediction markets are about and are booming already. What are the challenges ahead, though? Are there any clouds in the horizon, any worries about what may impact both props and prediction markets?
The biggest challenge so far in prop is risk management. We had so many firms struggling to handle the risk. It's very common that a firm entered the market and they go really aggressive on marketing, try to gain the traffic, but 6 months later they are into trouble because they did not think about settling the risk management properly before. This happens a lot, and the fact that the prop firm is a very niche industry. You don't have any standards, you don't have any benchmarks, or you don't have any experts to assist you to say, hey, you need to be careful about specific behavior on specific traders. So far the risk management is the key in prop firms. I still think the prop firm need to be more mature in terms of what they need to offer. What works 3 years ago with a specific challenge is not working today. Not anymore, because the traders and people participating, they learn how to gamify and how to create some statistical model to game against against the operator without any proper mindset of trading. With the company, and you have a lot of platforms looking to educate the traders, to create communities which are really good for entering the financial market. But you have others that are just here to try to find some shortcuts, and it put a lot of pressure to the platforms to continuing bringing this environment. When it comes to prediction markets, it's a new model. I still think risk management would be a key here, and that's the next question. You need to have people that have experience in the prop firms in different instruments. CFD, futures is a little bit different in terms of risk. Then you have crypto, which is 24/7, with perpetual, which is a very trendy market. Prediction markets, what is the risk you need? What is the risk management you need to take when you need to hedge? Economical event or event-based. It need to have a more deep think into this. But risk management is for me still the main area where prop firms are struggling today.
Mm-hmm. I echo with what Ruben said, and I'd like to add a little to that. When we look at a lot of trader data, we look at something. I think Ruben will have some idea about it as well. We call it a bimodal distribution, right? We see either the entire P&L is one shot on the upside or it's entirely on the downside. So you are eval maxing. Many traders call this eval maxing. Gen Z call it eval maxing, right? They try to max out on their evaluation accounts and either go all in or go, it's like a boom and bust kind of an approach. And, there is that physics aspect to it, that, hey, you cannot do it. This is not responsible trading and this is forbidden in our FAQs and terms and conditions. That's the physics aspect of it, right? And then there's the politics aspect of it, where that same trader or that group of traders can take it into social media and claim X, Y, and Z happened with them. The companies like this and that. Yes, they were supposed to do this and they did that. So there's this whole politics aspect of it. There's that whole community aspect of it. And the reason I say that is because, again, with prop trading, the company itself is a principal party, because we are the ones setting the rules and we are the ones enforcing the rules. So it becomes a constant game of balancing out the physics and the politics right? And there are choices you have to make. There are choices you have to not make in order to keep everything sailing smoothly. But at the same time, I definitely agree that risk management is definitely one of the core aspects. And personally, I also believe that, this whole concept of prop trading, it is for a normal trader, it is not extremely hard to understand, to see the value of it. Then I ask myself, okay, when I look at all these brokers who have, who have expanded their products into grassroots levels, like even if you go to Africa, to a random village, and people know about certain brokers, right? Because they have worked on that distribution to be able to go that deep. Now, I feel like, from a long-term point of view, that same grassroots distribution is possible because the story is easy. Hey, you are already trading, but you don't have enough money, right? Why don't you try out an evaluation? And the beautiful thing about prop is, when someone's trading with a brokerage, there's a massive gap of trust. You don't know. Your friend can claim that they are, amazing traders and they're making a lot of money. But even if you're my friend, I don't fully trust you. And the reason being, it is how historically it has been like this, where, especially in CFDs, traders have claimed to make a lot of money, whereas we all know many may have not, right? But with props, the beautiful thing is the success of the trader is extremely visible. If you're getting a $15,000 payout and you're getting a certificate with a QR to be scanned, and that lands you to the company's domain, and it validates, the company itself validates that this person actually got that $15,000 payout, then you know, hey, my friend actually got that payout, and I can do that too. What, he spent maybe $1,000, $2,000 on challenges? So the success is extremely visible, and you can actually validate it. So that is the beautiful flywheel of prop trading firms, and that is how it spreads across communities, in the Discords, in the Reddits, in the X communities, in the Telegrams, because you're seeing your friends win, right? So I think the storytelling, the education to the grassroots level, there is so much that the prop companies we can do to expand the market far beyond what it is already expanded to. And I think that's the next step, because I also think there's the risk management aspect of it, and then there is the getting new users and retaining those users, that aspect of it. And I think there's a lot to be done on that side of the arena. And I really believe that traditional brokers, especially in the CFD industry, have done a tremendous job over the years with their distribution mechanism, with IBs and affiliates, going as deep as possible to, going narrow and deep, not only wide and shallow. So I think the prop industry is right now wide and shallow. We offer every country. We offer to a very, very, top of the chain, very hot audience. But there is room to go narrow and deep. And there are some companies who are picking specific regions and really specializing on that. So I think there are huge markets to be captured.
One thing that prop firms really nailed, in my opinion, is this virality component, no? that you mentioned about. It's easy to understand, it's easy to explain, it's easy to communicate. No? I'm happy to see that we haven't talked about regulation yet, but I need to bring the topic in. How do you see regulation evolving in the future and impacting both prop firm industry and prediction markets?
So I'll take the prediction markets aspect. Regulation is both catapulting it forward in the US, for example, where you have institutionals that are also added to the discussion, but also sets limitations on what can be offered, what can be traded, what are the monitoring and the integrity rules that the platform needs to set. And when you operate with a platform that already sets those rules and you enable you to monitor, you will be in the path of the future regulatory regs.
I'd like to add that in the US, they really worked on the create regulation, a framework. The platform also is constantly evolving and trying to understand how to avoid all these cases that we heard of insider trading. They are trying to put foundation and real rules to become more like traditional markets that we know today. So it's we are coming away, but in Europe it takes more time. So there are some countries that still that are already restrict user retail access to this platform. Some countries where it's still gray area, and Gibraltar that is already that has approved prediction markets and has put regulation in place. So I think that it will take time. The US is beginning to paving the way, but the demand is here. Once again, the users are interested. It feels like crypto back in the 2016. So user wants to trade these instruments. The product works. There is market, but regulation needs to take time to write the rules and to do strong foundations to really integrate this as a new trading product.
Maybe I will add for prop firms, moving back to prop firms a bit. I'm really positive and enthusiastic for having a regulation into prop. The thing is that every year we are coming to a specific panel and we say, yeah, regulation will come, and it's never come yet. You know, it's been like 3-4 years we are talking about regulation. It's still not here. So we are still waiting for certain body coming and setting the rules for keeping the strong players that can set standards and more transparency in the space, but it's still not here. So the prop firms need still to have specific standards set by themselves, and you have some companies that try to set the standards for prop. You have, for example, Prop for Match, which is one of the marketplace for prop firms, when basically they set the compliance rules for prop firms to be listed. So it's been really hard to be listed in this type of company, for example. So you have some operators aside that try to set the rules for everyone else, but you don't have any regulatory body that comes and set the rules for everyone yet. I'm still very positive, but we will see. Maybe Abdullah, you have any ideas on regulation in prop?
Yeah, for sure. It's something that moves slowly. So for sure we will see it coming, probably.
I hope so.
Let's talk about user acquisition, because this is a critical part of the game. Part of the growth of props and prediction markets is that they can advertise everywhere almost. Recently, Meta started to being more restrictive towards prop trading. How do you see this part of the funnel evolving in terms of acquisition and retention?
I can take it. So, look, you mentioned Meta, but when you mention Meta, of course, you mean Facebook and Instagram to the most part. I've always thought that Facebook and Instagram, these two platforms, are mostly interruption marketing, right? You don't go to Facebook to look for a prop trading firm, right? You don't go to Instagram to get educated on trading or be promoted about literally anything. It's more like you're getting into Facebook and Instagram in order to be entertained, to see what your friends are doing, and you are interrupted with a static image or a video that needs to capture your attention and whatnot. So yes, there is always advertising restrictions. I don't think it's anything to do with prop trading in particular, but I think regardless, if you're offering any kind of a financial product, you're going to face scrutiny here and then. But we have an amazing, I can only talk for Funded Next, but we have an amazing relationship with Meta. We have a JVP with Google as well. And personally, I've always liked, from an acquisition channel point of view, the channels where they choose to be consuming a certain kind of content, right? If you're on YouTube and if you're on, if you're looking at a prop trading strategy kind of a video, I want to be there as an advertiser or a sponsor, right? And at the same time, if you're on TikTok and you're looking at a TikTok live as a streamer, I want to have my banner over there. If you're on Forex Factory and if you're looking at all the news that are all the red folder news of today, I want to be there. If you're on TradingView, I want to be there, right? If you're on FX Street, I want to be there. So I always like, and we've seen, session data and usage behavior of different kind of channels. And I definitely think, although if you're going to Facebook and Instagram, you'll see lots and lots of you'd be bombarded with prop trading ads these days. But I'd also like to pose that question, like, when's the last time you saw an advertisement and bought something? It's very rare. Like, it's not the advertisement that converts users, even myself. Maybe I'm interested, I'm talking with AI, I'm going on to YouTube to see a review, maybe I'm checking out that Instagram page. Like, there are at least 5 to 6 touch points before you see the ad and say, I'm gonna do it. There's this discount, I'm gonna do it, right? So I don't think it's extremely consequential. And from a channel point of view, definitely there are other channels that I like much more. And at the same time, I think a lot of the user acquisition has to be, key opinion leader first, KOL, influencers, people like podcasts and all sorts of things. So I think I personally like those sorts of channels much better from a user acquisition point of view.
Other thoughts about user acquisition and how it will evolve?
So in prediction markets, the user acquisition is much cheaper than in trading and in prop. And prediction markets is not competing with trading. It's not competing with prop firms. It's additional asset class, additional like MT4, MT5, additional account that trading platforms can add, that FX firms can add, and also prop firms can add simulated prediction markets trading. And I wanted to announce that we, and this is like a first-time announcement for the public, we are going to partner with the biggest prop firm, Tradify, and create their simulated prediction market trader. And I cannot tell more details, but it's going to be huge.
Let's talk after.
So the interesting part is when you are broadening your offering, and you're broadening it to not only include what you have now, but something that is event-driven, real-world events, that the price is social. Why do I call it social? Because you can look at the price and understand whether your team that you thought is winning or not, or whether, and it's not a proxy of like what will happen. Would the interest go up? What should I bet? Should I do the FX? It's very clear. Yes, no. Would the interest go up? Yes or no? What is the maximum gain? What's the maximum loss? What's the rules for the decision? So it brings users really easily. The onboarding process is easy. And once you onboard on prediction market, whether on prop, simulated, we have like a smart engine simulated for prop firms, or a true peer-to-peer transaction where you're not adversary to the house. You and the house, the trader, the house, the retail trader and the house, they're aligned. And this is where the regulator is going. He's looking at where the operator is and the trader are aligned, and they are looking for their interest. And as the trader goes bigger, the commission that the trader takes is bigger. That's what I think the future holds.
So prediction markets as a complementary,
offering to both prop firms, FX, and other partners.
Interesting. So I would like to offer the opportunity to the audience to ask their nagging questions. I see an eager hand there.
Hello. Have you heard of Yeno project? It's exactly prop prediction market, prop prediction firm.
Can you repeat the question?
Yeno. It was announced yesterday.
What is the question?
Have you heard of this platform, Yeno? This is prop prediction platform.
Yeah.
Have you heard of it?
No, but there are already some players that are in the prediction, and there are some prop firms already entering the prediction markets. I think there are maybe 3-4 that I know that I heard, but we will see more. We will see more, and it's going to be crowded during the next years. But no, I'd never heard about it, so I will double check after the panel.
Okay, thank you. And the second question: how do you find the difference, for example, between simulating the prediction market on prop firms versus binary options?
It's two different things. Binary options, you trade against the house. Although it looks yes, no, so everyone is like, oh, this is yes, no, and this is yes, no. This means it's the same thing, and it's not, because peer-to-peer trading as opposed to trading against the house, it's a different kind of mechanism. Simulated trading, the user knows it's simulated. He enters into a simulated environment in order to learn, and eventually we take all the prices from the real world trading, allowing him to really experience what it is to put his money where his mouth is, and then really win or lose whatever that he's trading on.
Yes.
Okay,
Another question?
thank you.
Hi, it's Nathan at One Resolution Recruitment, mainly for prop firms, also the wider fintech sector. I wanted to ask Gali, how do you foster and cultivate trust for Funded Next and across the prop firm sector? There have been bad reviews are like a runaway train, right? Even if the number of good experiences actually in practice outweighs the number of negative experiences. Is it investing heavily in customer support? Is it being smart with AI on customer support? Do you think across the prop firm space, people aren't doing enough to address these potential strategic difficulties, and how do you manage it at Funded Next?
Thank you. It's a very relevant and good question. So the honest answer is that you'd have to do a lot to properly maintain everything. And we do invest a lot in customer support. We do have a lot of people, rostered 24/7 across the week, across the years, without holidays, like rostered in different countries, so that everyone gets answered. But I think one thing that the entire industry can improve on is make things far more clear. Like when you sign up to Funded Next, in the dashboard at the very first time, you have an onboarding survey. And that survey has a question called, how often do you read the rules, right? And there are few different options, because we know, especially at prop firms, there is so much to know before you're considering to take a challenge. And especially in the futures segment, as Ruben also mentioned, like futures is huge right now. So especially in futures, what we see is people answer, and we've also seen this in the customer interviews that we do. Like they read everything. There are many traders, like many think that prop trading traders are like newbies, but they're so not, right? They're experienced and they know what they're doing. That's why they're trading prop trading firms. So they're reading all the rules, and it pains me as an operator to have all of it up in the FAQs, right? Like you cannot get literally any information. You mentioned Tradify earlier, or you mentioned, we all know of a few different prop trading firms. If you go to many of our websites, you'll see that there's not a lot of information present. And if you gotta understand it, if you gotta know everything beforehand, you've gotta go to the deep end to understand everything. So we have taken some deliberate efforts to it. Like if you go to Funded Next, you'll see we have a dedicated AI voice assistant that's connected with 11 labs and our knowledge base. So you can literally ask anything, all the rules, you get clarified and everything. And from an outsider point of view, you may feel like, okay, this may be a gimmicky feature. People may not use it a lot. But when there is something like that, with all the knowledge of the prop firm in 30 different languages, believe me, people use it a lot, right? And at the same time, there are some key moments in the entire life cycle of a trader. In those key moments, you have to make sure that the trader knows where they stand. Why is it that they failed? What happened? What went wrong? So you as a company, you've got to have empathy towards that trader, because what is actually happening? They're failing, right? So it's a bad experience already as it is. They're already sad about it. So make that experience as complete and whole as you can. So these things go a long way. And of course, at the end of the day, wherever on the internet you can go ahead and make money, there will be abuse. And with abuse comes also the physics and the politics aspect of it. People try to take advantage of it. So that as a company you have to balance it out. There are occasions where this is a ring of traders, using multiple identities and trying to game the system. But sometimes you'd still have to let that go, because that region is important, that overall reputation is important. So I don't know if that answers answers your question, but there are lots of moving parts to it. Yeah.
The best answer the audience can give.
Yeah.
So we do not have time for more questions. Sorry. I think we covered a lot of ground. We discussed the challenges and the opportunities for these industries. Thank you very much for all your insights. I think it was really, really interesting. And thank you all for your attention. Have a good day.